something I repeated to myself over and over again during this process was, there may be pain in the night, but joy comes in the morning. And like seeing my daughter's face constantly reminds me that joy does come in the morning. And it may not be tomorrow, and it may not be the next day, and it may not be when you expect it, but it does come.
When I'm with Brie in wine country, when I'm 50, I'm not going to have any what ifs. I'm going to laugh about my failures and I'm going to toast to my successes, but at least I won't be saying what if.
I'm in my best days, but if I would have looked then and I would have said, no, I'm not going to do it now. To be honest with you, I would have lost maybe the most important thing I've ever done.
You just heard Lauren Holiday, Nikki and Brie Bella, and John Maxwell share some words of wisdom. This is the best of 2020 edition of the Why Not Now podcast. I've pulled some of my favorite clips of the year together for you.
I'm Amy Jo Martin. Welcome to the Why Not Now show. You know that thing you've been thinking about doing? Yeah, that one. Why not now? Have you ever actually taken the time to ask yourself, what's stopping me? Let's talk it through. This is your chance to give that idea the attention it deserves and take action. Each episode, I have a chat with a fascinating person, from entrepreneurs to athletes, celebrities, my parents, rocket scientists, and all walks of life. We talk through a critical time when they've asked themselves, why not now? We dissect that day or even that moment, step by step.
Just let go.
Being able to design my own day and do it in the most efficient way is a non-negotiable for me. I'm a bit of a time management nerd, so when I find something that allows me to be more efficient and effective to get the most out of my day, I want to share it with everyone. So here's the scoop. I have a new tool in my productivity tool belt, and it's called Monday.com. My team and I have never felt more organized professionally and personally. And my to-do list is no longer the boss of me. I feel more in control because every project, initiative, date, and task is captured and organized in one place. And my team is in the loop and involved every step of the way. We are in lockstep. Monday.com is like having a brand new operating system. Everything has its own home, deadline. You can see the team members associated with the tasks, and it's color coordinated, so you can easily navigate your own task list. We all have multifaceted jobs, businesses, and lives. With Monday, you're able to keep all of these components organized in their own compartments, but you're also one click away from seeing the big picture and how they all integrate together. Creating systems and procedures within your day and business saves a lot of time. For example, my team and I have a dedicated Monday.com board for this very podcast. Did you know that there are 28 steps involved in getting one podcast ready for air? It's the same exact process every single time. And it's a system that we have put into place. So we know the various key steps are assigned to certain people, and we've mapped out the entire process from start to finish within this one board. This allows us to be streamlined. It cuts back on the amount of emails exchanged as well as the amount of meetings needed. One feature I love is that my social media content calendar is built inside of Monday.com. I finally have one that I actually use, I like, and it's embedded into my overall calendar as well. Another feature we use every single day is the Google Doc integration. You know I love a good spreadsheet. I can pull them into Monday.com and edit them right there versus having 97 tabs open on my computer, which is extremely distracting and inefficient. If how we spend our days is how we spend our lives, then I can't think of anything more important than using the time in our days wisely. Head to hey.monday.com/Amy Jo Martin to start your free trial today. That's hey.monday.com/Amy Jo Martin.
Wow, what a year. 2020 has definitely brought more challenges than any of us could have ever imagined. But one of my Renegade rules is to use adversity as an asset, to leverage adversity until it becomes an asset. It's really just an asset in disguise. I've been doing a lot of reflecting, and as we prepare to move into 2021, I don't want to forget what we've overcome in 2020. And what we're still overcoming and working toward, because our past informs our future. I want to remember and use this adversity that we've tackled in 2020 as an asset to help me grow in 2021. And I hope you want to do the same. I've pulled together some of my favorite interviews from this year and some pretty amazing people who inspire me as I move into this new year. We can all learn a thing or two from Olympic soccer player Lauren Holiday and Renegade graduate, I might say. Also, WWE Champions and serial entrepreneurs Nikki and Brie Bella. And one of the top leadership experts in the world, John Maxwell. Let's start with Lauren Holiday. In many ways, her days as an Olympic soccer player prepared her body and mind for the health problems she would face. While pregnant with her daughter, JT, Lauren's doctors found a tumor in her brain. After hearing Lauren's story, I was blown away by her strength and resilience. I tried to channel it any time 2020 felt extra tough.
The hardest part for me was JT, like having her in my belly, because all I could think about was, okay, what do I have to do? Like me physically, what do I have to do to keep her safe? Like, and as a mom that I like, a mom to be, athlete, everything inside me, just a woman, like my body was failing me. Like that's how it felt. Like my body has failed me. Like everything that I've trusted my whole entire life, like everything that I've known to be true, like isn't true. Like I have a brain tumor. Like how?
After giving birth, Lauren went home to rest her body and prepare for her brain surgery. That's a lot to ask of a new mom, both mentally and physically. But I love Lauren's advice about mindset when she faced that adversity.
I think that something that I did really well in between those times where I didn't let myself go down the rabbit hole. I didn't let myself go down the what if. And I think that my husband had a lot to do with that. We would obviously talk about it, but it was never like as if something bad was going to happen to me. Even after you have all the scary doctor's appointments where they're like, this is what could happen in this surgery. I feel like I heard everything that could happen, but when I went home to talk to Drew about it, he was like, they said that? Are you sure? I'm not sure that like he had kind of blocked that out also, but I think that was probably the best thing that I did in between the time was just focusing on JT and not going down the rabbit holes of what if.
Lauren had a successful surgery, and here's an update on how she's doing now.
Now I feel great. I've had a couple eye surgeries. I work out like I did when I played. I got my balance back, everything. I feel completely normal. Yeah, I'm deaf in my right ear, but I feel like that's like nothing.
During this time when so many of us are struggling, it's more important than ever to ask for help if you need it. After surgery, Lauren was on a flight with her daughter, and they had to make an emergency landing. Luckily, mom and daughter were okay, but Lauren didn't sleep well after that. She had been through a lot. And after doctors took care of her body, she realized she needed to take care of her mental health as well.
I think that it's just so important to talk to somebody and really take care of your mental health too. So I've seen a counselor since then, off and on, and I feel like they helped me and walked me through so many of the feelings I was feeling toward, like even not sharing my story, and just like the fear every time I get on an airplane, and, just everything that, like, the fear of losing my child, the fear of like my husband losing me and my child. And I feel like that was a huge thing for me to do. And I feel like with that healing, I have been able to share my story way more. And I feel like I want to share it.
I also had the pleasure of speaking with the Bella twins this year. These two are on it. They are building an empire. They're incredible new moms who are entrepreneurial at every turn, and they're WWE superstars, of course. So they had some great advice about business, about their journey, and about mindset as well.
But one thing that I have learned, and where I agree with Brie, is what is meant to be. Sometimes it is so easy to focus on that one door that closed on us, where we don't see all the other doors on the side that have opened. And sometimes there is a reason why that door closed and all these other ones have opened, but we just got to open up our eyes and look left and right and go through those open doors. And then that door that closed sometimes comes back down the road, or in the end, you look back and you go, I'm so happy that didn't work out for me. So I know for me is anything that I want to do or be, I work hard at, but when something doesn't go through or I fail at something, even though I tried so hard, I realized like this just wasn't meant for me and there's something else out there.
Nikki, Brie, and I also talked about failure and living with no regrets, which is a great motto to head into 2021. Here's Brie talking a little bit about just that.
I think our mom always told us growing up, like, live with no regrets. My mom was really big with that. So Nicole and I are big believers on just taking the leap of faith, because failing's okay. Because if you don't fail, it means you didn't try. And if you don't try, then you're going to be 50 years old with your glass of wine and be like, what if? Yeah. And we don't want the what if.
The Bellas also had great advice about surrounding yourself with like-minded, like-hearted people. As we take on the new year, I feel like it's more important than ever to be around those who share our values, both in our professional and personal lives.
Having employees or people that are on your team that truly do share your same vision and passion, because we've had those mistakes too, but when you have people around you that have that, you build this trust, and you know that if you can't make a decision or you can't be there to move something forward, and those people are that they believe in what you believe in, and you know it's going to go in the right direction. Because there's nothing worse than when you have people that don't have that, and next thing you know, you're like, wait, why does my company look like this? How did we get here? And then you just start to fall apart and crumble. But if you truly have those people around you, even down to whatever your lowest paid employee, make sure that they share that passion, that vision. And when you're doing stuff that you're passionate about, it's crazy for me, at least. Like, I think maybe that's the part of my balance that's off, is like, I never think of time because I love everything I do so much that if anything, I wish we had more time in the day to get more stuff done or to be more interactive with everything.
We're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back. All right, everyone. I am excited to share that the Renegade Brand Bootcamp is back. We are getting ready for the first program in 2021. However, it has changed. It is new and improved. It is now the Renegade Accelerator. Are you ready to accelerate your life? Or maybe your career is in a season of expansion. Applications are now open for the 2021 Renegade Brand Bootcamp with a new name, introducing the Renegade Accelerator.
I think we can all use a reset after 2020. This program is for you if you're ready to take action on your why not now idea. Maybe that means starting the company, launching the podcast, writing the book, or doing more public speaking, even if it is virtually. Maybe you're in the corporate world and you want to inject your why into what you're doing. At the end of the day, that's exactly what creates connection. And connections convert. My life work is to help guide women through this very stage in their lives. Down the black diamond mountains of business and life, I see superpowers in people that they don't necessarily see in themselves yet. Many years ago, I went to Mark Cuban and I asked him for some investment advice. I thought I was going to get some real estate or stock market kind of advice. No. He said, invest in yourself. Invest in your own growth, invest in yourself, and bet on yourself. This is the best ROI you will ever find. The Renegade Accelerator is the perfect opportunity to invest in yourself. This program truly is the career love of my life. The reason why I love the program so much is because I'm able to create a mosaic, a collection of like-minded, like-hearted, driven women who come together to level up. Past renegades have gone on to make millions of dollars, appear on the Today Show, and accelerate their life and career in a way they never imagined was possible. They learn the renegade mentality directly from me, and I share everything I've learned over the past 20 years in business. It's equal parts education, collaboration, accountability, and community. So if you're a renegade and you're on your way to greatness, I want to help you get there a little faster. I want to guide you through this accelerator. We are accepting applications for our 2021 program, and you're welcome to check out everything about the program at renegadeaccelerator.com. Or if you just remember the old name better and it's a little easier for you, you can still head that direction too. It's the same destination, renegadebrandbootcamp.com. At the very least, if you're considering this program, if you're interested, just sign up for our emails because I will walk you through the process in helping you determine if this is the right fit for you and if now is the right time for you.
Surrounding yourself with people who have similar goals is so important for professional growth, but it's just as important for personal growth as well. Next up is John Maxwell, who is an expert. He is epic at both personal and professional growth, like world leading. If you are thinking about New Year's resolutions right now, or you're thinking about your personal growth, this is the person to listen to. He can walk the talk, he has the cred, and he is someone that I will always look up to, especially in this area.
If somebody said, John, what is the one secret to where you are today? I would say personal growth. In fact, I'm known for leadership, but I'm probably most passionate about personal development growth. And when I was in my middle 20s, I sat down with a mentor, and one morning at breakfast, he asked me, he said, John, what is your plan for personal growth? And I said, well, what do you mean? He said, well, I mean, how are you developing yourself? And I had no plan for personal growth. And that day, my life was changed. He looked at me and said, John, he said, growth isn't automatic. Growth, you don't personally get better automatically. We get older automatically, but we don't get better automatically. And he said, if you're going to get better, you're going to have to be intentional. The greatest investment you ever make is the investment in yourself.
John is now one of the most successful career coaches in the world. But he says he almost didn't go in that direction because he was ready to retire. He was set financially. Looking back, John says coaching has actually been the most fulfilling endeavor of his life. I think this is a great lesson in trying things that put us out of our comfort zones. This year is the year to do it. This year is the year it will bring you the most growth.
John, thank you so much for joining me today. Welcome to the show. And let's start where we always do in the spirit of why not now. Can you tell me about a time when you had a big decision to make and you were navigating that delta between idea and action, dreaming and doing, and you had to ask yourself, why not now?
Well, Amy Jo, first of all, great to be with you. And I'm excited for you and your listeners that I can share today. I love the name of your podcast. And when you ask the question, there are literally dozens of times that I could share where I ask myself, okay, why not now? And had that decision to make, am I going to sit or am I going to get in the arena of action? So the one I think I'll talk about for a moment here, because I think it's a great story and hopefully it'll help your listeners, is happened to me. I'm 72. Okay. So when I was 64, I was approached by Paul Martinelli and Scott Fay to start a coaching company. And truthfully, I didn't need a coaching company. I've been running this race for quite a while and doing well, and sold a lot of books. And I thought, I'm 64. I can pretty well have the rest of my life, do whatever I want to do. But I was in a conversation about a year before that with Jack Welch, who was the CEO of General Electric, and we were talking, and we were talking about legacy. And he said something that day that impacted me. He said, John, legacy has nothing to do with a company or an organization. It has everything to do with people. That if your legacy is going to continue, it's because people carry it. And that really spoke to me. And so when they came to me, I'm 64, I could afford to quit, retire. And they said, John, would you like to start a coaching company? It interested me because of legacy. I thought, wouldn't it be great if I could, credential people and help them, become entrepreneurial and start their own organizations? And wouldn't it be wonderful if I could, get some more legs to my legacy? And so I spent about 6 months just talking to them and talking in my inner circle and kind of considering what this all meant. And what I knew it meant was that if you start a company, you're certainly not going to retire. You're not going to kind of lay back. And so I gave it some thought, and I decided to do it. I said, I really want to. I think I've got another chapter in me, and so I think I want to do it. So we started. I guess it was 9 years ago now. We started an organization that. Wow. I mean, we didn't have any coaches. We had no money down. We just said, let's tell people that I'll be glad to credential them and they could be a John Maxwell certified coach. And so off we went. And Amy Jo, 9 years later, we have over 30,000 coaches in 162 countries. We are the largest, most successful coaching company in the world. And the joy that I have received from this organization and from these people, it has no limits to it. And I'm living in my best days. I'm living in my best days. And awesome. And I think of myself, what would have happened if I wouldn't have asked myself, why not now? What would have happened if I'd have just said, you know what, I'm okay. I don't need to do any more work. I'm in my best days. But if I would have looked then and I would have said, no, I'm not going to do it now, to be honest with you, I would have lost maybe the most important thing I've ever done.
John and I also talked about leadership in the age of social media and what that means. What does it really mean to have a following, followers? Is there such thing as a shallow following? I loved his example and what he had to say about this.
I really do want to talk to you about developing leaders and why that's important. Art Williams is a wonderful friend of mine, and many years ago he started Primerica. And when he started to build his team, he said to them, I don't promise you that this will be easy, but I do promise you it'll be worthwhile. And when you think of developing leaders, this book is an incredible practical book on how to develop leaders. But I don't promise anybody that reads the book that it'll be easy, but I do promise them it'll be worthwhile. And here's why. First of all, 90% of all leaders, they don't cultivate or develop other leaders. They just have followers. And that's okay. That leadership is influence, nothing more, nothing less. And so if you lead, you have people in line. And that's just a fact. But what they don't understand is that followers are not committed. Followers don't understand how to reproduce themselves. And so if you have followers, you get some addition into your company, but you don't get any kind of multiplication or compounding. But the moment that you develop leaders, the compounding begins. Because, Amy Jo, if you're on my team and I develop you as a leader, you have now influence that grows because you're a leader and you're developing other people. So, all the people you're developing become a part of who I am. And there's a reproduction that's extremely healthy when you develop leaders. With followers, it's addition, and with leaders, it's multiplication. If you want to go fast, get followers. If you want to go far, get leaders.
If you enjoyed these 3 clips, please head back into the archives. We had so many amazing guests, and it was difficult to choose just 3. I wish you a very happy holiday. Thank you for listening to the show. Thank you for tuning in and showing up. It means the world to my team and I, and we couldn't do this without you. Happy holidays, and we'll see you in the new year. Hey everyone, thanks for listening to the show. Hit me up on social media to let me know what you think. I'm at Amy Jo Martin on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. And I want to hear your Why Not Now moments so I can share them on the show. Just send me a note to whynotnow@amyjomartin.com. For show notes and other offers, you can visit amyjomartin.com/whynotnow. And while you're there, don't forget to sign up for my email newsletter for exclusive content and announcements. A big thanks to Rock Salt Music for all of the tunes by the talented John Coggins. And of course, a hat tip to Richard Brewer for editing and producing the show. I'll see you next time. And until then, why not now?